Hi guys, happy May. We've made it to week 5, I think, of e-learning. And for me, it's getting harder and harder because I miss you guys and I feel like I'm just talking to a computer screen. So kind of ready for things to get back in the swing of normal school come August. And hopefully you guys are feeling that way too. For our lesson this week, I wanted you to be able to maybe collaborate with some of the people at home or with the TV show that you've been watching. We're going to look a little bit at movement and how to show movement in our artwork. And the artist I wanted for us to look at this week is named Keith Haring. And we've probably talked about him before at school, especially if you are a second grader. I actually don't know if we made it to this lesson this year yet or not. So maybe you haven't heard of him, but here is Keith. And Keith is a very famous graffiti artist, which means that he obviously gets permission, but he draws on subway walls and creates big, colorful, powerful murals. So I wanted for us to look at him today because he's very good about showing movement in his artwork while also making sure that his pieces are very simple. So let's move on and talk a little bit about his first picture, which we see here. And I love it because I feel like it shows kindness and friendship, and they definitely look like they're happy together. Keith uses bright colors. He uses dark, bold outlines, and those are kind of the things I wanted for us to talk about today. And then I wanted to show you guys another picture that he made that looks like this. So if you have lots of people at home, if you have lots of siblings that you want to put in your picture, you can make a picture of more than 2 or 3 people. All right, so this is just another example of how he puts multiple people in his picture. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started with our steps. Okay, the only people I have at home with me are my boyfriend Lavelle, who some of you guys have met, and my cat Tibbard. So this was a little bit hard for me, and I had to make them pose for me. If I were by myself and I didn't have somebody to pose for me, I would probably use a TV show and maybe pause it and then draw what I see. But because I have Lavelle and Tibbs here, I was able to. Mine's not done, but this is what we will get to when we get through our steps. So for step number 1, I want you guys to choose a pose. So the person that you're working with can either dance or move or work out. Maybe they're doing Mr. Campbell's gym lesson, and you're going to have them pause on a pose so that you can sketch it. And maybe that pose is something like a squat. So if I choose my pose, a squat, I shouldn't be drawing yet. I'm sorry. Oh, I just dropped my water. Sorry, guys. Step 2. Draw figure in pencil. If you are thinking to yourself, I only know how to draw stick figures. I don't know how to draw figures that have little bodies like this. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. The first thing I want you to do is draw your figure in pencil. And we want it to be a stick figure to start off. So if all you know how to do are stick figures, perfect. I'm going to draw my person doing a squat because I just got done watching Mr. Campbell's gym video and maybe he was doing a squat in it. I have no clue. So I know that the arms are coming out and the feet are coming down and they're kind of bent something like this. Just a stick figure, and I'm going to show you how to make that stick figure into not a stick figure. And then I'm going to do another person that's squatting with my other figure because I don't want them to be alone. So they're doing a little workout together here. There's my 2 little stick people. I drew them in pencil. And now to make them have bodies, I'm going to lightly trace around my figure like this. Some of you guys I have taught how to do this already, so you're thinking, oh, Miss Moore taught me how to do this. I already know. And you are one step ahead of the game. Woohoo! If I trace all the way around my figures, And then I have something that looks like this. So I just traced around my stick person, and then I can erase the inside, and you will watch what happens. I drew mine really thick so that you guys, or really dark so that you guys could see it. So my erasing is not going to look that great. But while you guys are drawing your stick figures, try to keep in mind to draw lightly because you know that eventually you are going to have to erase that inside line. So I'm not really taking my time erasing because I want to get to the next step for you guys. But you get the idea. I erased the inside. Now I have my little bodies. There they are, squatting. I'm ready for step 2, and step 3 tells me trace with black. Black marker, black crayon, black colored pencil, whatever you have at home is fine. I'm going to use a black marker here, and I'm going to trace my figures all the way around with black. And as I'm working, I'm noticing that I forgot to give my figures a ground, and they look like they're floating. But that's fine because I can always go back and add that ground in so that they aren't floating. And something else that we saw in Keith Haring's pictures, we will add as well to our pictures. And those are called movement lines. And that's what Keith uses to show that his figures are moving. They're in motion, they're doing something, they're not just standing still like a statue. So if we go back to Keith Haring's picture, we see that he uses these 3 little lines to kind of show that those people are moving. Oops, that's the next artist, sorry guys. And here he's got the movement lines as well. So I'm going to add the movement lines to my little figures so that it looks like they're moving and squatting and they're not just standing still like statues. And I don't need to add a ton of movement lines, just enough to make it look like they're in motion. There they are. I've traced with black. I'm ready for step 4. And step 4 today tells me add pattern. So I'm going to add patterns to both of my little guys here, or girls, that are working out. And I'm going to give them different patterns. So this guy is going to have polka dots. And then maybe I do want my other person to be a girl, so I'm going to add her a little ponytail. I wish you guys could see it here. There, now you can see a little bit better. And I'm going to make her have stripes for her pattern. Once again, I'm moving fast because I don't think you guys need to watch me do all of this. So hopefully you're taking more time and making yours look a lot nicer and neater. And then I'll give my ground a pattern. And I'm going to give my ground just an X pattern. I'm going to draw little X's all over the ground. There we go. There are my little guys and girl. They're squatting. Step 5. Color in with the primary colors. My primary color family, who's in it? Blue. I need red. And I need yellow. This is kind of a nice little refresher for us about our primary color family because we know it is important to know our color families. So I thought this lesson would be a good opportunity for us to revisit the primary color family so that we always remember that those are the 3 primary colors. I also like using these colors because they're so bright and cheerful that they will kind of go with the theme of our picture. We're happy, we're moving, we're working out, we're being healthy, or we're dancing. Whatever pose you guys chose to do. So I've got my girl colored in with primary yellow. I'll color in my little guy here with primary blue. And then maybe I'll color the ground in with primary color red. And then I can just leave the background white if I want. Or I could color it in as well. So, before you get started, make sure you find somebody to have pose for you, dance for you, move for you, and choose one of those poses or one of those movements to show in your artwork. Or choose somebody on the TV screen and draw something that they're doing or a movement that they're making. Oh yeah, also it could be an animal. Like I said, I have Tibbert at home. So in my example, I drew a little kitty. I forgot to do patterns on my people there, so we're not going to look at that one. Okay. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, but look how cute. Hopefully you guys have fun with this one. Like I said, I miss you horribly. I hate not teaching you in real life, and I'm ready to see all your faces again. I hope you're staying in, and you're staying active, and you're staying kind, and I'll see you all in the fall.